Saturday Hoops, presented by Wendy's, brings us to Salt Lake City. And this afternoon, a capacity crowd is making its way inside the Huntsman Center for a much-anticipated matchup between number 4 UCLA and the Runnin' Utes of Utah. And good afternoon, everyone. Courtside with Matt Muehlbach, JB Long. This is the only regular season meeting between UCLA and Utah, and it makes it a very important one resume-wise for the Runnin' Utes.
Well, they're playing well. I feel like they're a top 4 team in this league, but when you look at the RPI, kind of a weak schedule, this is a huge game for them. Big win to beat USC, but I think they need this one, JB.
To have success, they'll become the latest team to attempt to slow down what we think is the best offense in college basketball. The Bruins top 3 nationally in every meaningful category. And Matt, at CU in Boulder earlier this week, a school record 19 made threes, many of them set up by this man, Lonzo Ball.
Well, Ball has done it, and it's the assists that have been so good for this team. But I love the 3 things he does. Number 1, he plays fast. This is after a made bucket. He's at the free throw line in under 2 seconds, and he delivers the dime for the dunk right there. And then I love his vision and the way he does it, the flair, but the efficiency. That was with the left hand, the one-hander, kind of reminded me of Steve Nash. And we'll see another one. This is the right hand, another one-hand dime for the dunk. He's been spectacular with that vision. And then, JB, I think the length. You look here, Marcus Allen 6'4", Lonzo Ball 6'7". He can just shoot right over guys. He has length on defense. He has length on offense. He's got it all.
As for the Runnin' Utes, they're coming off a win over a ranked USC team earlier this week. They looked like a tournament squad. And Matt, I think it's because, one, they're healthy, and they're starting to find their identity.
They really are, and it's really been the bigs. David Collette, the transfer that came in last year, he has been terrific for this team. You look at his numbers right there, 15, 64%. A true post player down low that can cause damage. I think he can hurt UCLA today. And I think Collette's presence has opened things up for Kyle Kuzma, a guy that I think can play at the next level, 15 a game, 9.5 rebounds. I think both of those guys can dominate if they want today inside against UCLA's D.
You know, part of the reason they struggled against good competition earlier in the year is they couldn't find their three-point range. That changed against the Trojans on Thursday. They went 9 of 17.
That's right. The bigs down low have scored. They've opened up the outside. I think they're shooting it better. You look at the numbers against those losses. Terrible numbers. Do they have it going tonight? I think the key, they've got to take good shots from 3 and then make them.
As you saw, the must is ready. We cannot wait. A sellout in Salt Lake City for top 5 UCLA and the Runnin' Utes. It's next on Pac-12 Network. Our up to the moment Pac-12 standings presented by Tire Pros. You saw Cal defeat Washington State in Berkeley. The Golden Bears improved to 4-2. They are now 5th in the standings. UCLA and Utah about to tip it off here in Salt Lake City. It's a sellout at the Huntsman Center in front of this Redouts. Larry Kuskowiak's starting 5 includes JoJo Zamora, his junior guard, who has become Utah's top 3-point shooter. He has hit 11 of his last 18 attempts from behind the arc. 17-1 UCLA, number 4 in the country for Steve Alford, and TJ Leaf at 65% from the floor leads the Pac-12 in that category. Top 5 in scoring, and he's a 2-time Pac-12 Player of the Week as well. Bryce Alford coming off his best performance yet. 37 in Boulder on 9 of 11 shooting. It tied the school record for threes made. However, Matt, this has been a house of horrors for Bryce.
Well, you see there, he has not scored in this center. You had Elijah Stewart on Thursday, JB, and he had a similar type problem. He ended that game with 0 points. Let's see what happens with Bryce today.
Bruins with basketball in the first possession in the hands of Lonzo Ball. We'll see a lot of zone from Utah defensively. Ball from distance. Splash. And that's how we start.
Yeah, really nervous start for Ball right there. You could tell the big crowd getting to him.
43% from behind the arc in his freshman campaign when everyone said that was the only weakness in his game, three-point shooting.
Well, and he only shoots 25-footers. He doesn't really shoot the 29 as the line indicates. So great job here. Utah get it inside. I think that's the key early for them.
Bruins sent 2 defenders at Collette. Zamora with the finger roll.
And we saw right there, Zamora had a 3, and he's been hot, but I like what he did there. The pump fake, get to the rim, attack the bucket early in this game.
Utah has not upset a top 5 team since 2002 when they beat number 1 Alabama in the non-conference. Isaac Hamilton. A disastrous start to Pac-12 play for this veteran. He's back to his normal form.
Yeah, saw him in at that Colorado game. He was terrific. Gets his looks. We talk about it with Ball, but you could see the confidence. And when he starts rolling those in, JB, tough for the opposition.
Renzo Bonham drawing and dishing. Here's Devin Daniels, 12 to shoot for the Runnin' Utes. Daniels now with 5. Gets the matchup on Bryce Alford. Rejects the screen, has to fire. Rebound Leaf.
And you see how fast Ball has the ball already back up the court.
TJ Leaf off a bounce. That was wicked.
There's not anything he can't do. I mean, I worried about him shooting the ball from deep. He's shown that. I never even thought he would take it off the dribble this year. You saw it right there. He's also been attacking the rim, athletic. Terrific season so far.
And it looks like he'll draw the defensive assignment on Kyle Kuzma, Utah's best player, who has a 3 of his own.
Well, he's been on fire. We saw last weekend 26 and 12 against ASU, his high. He was hot the other night against USC. And we talk about 4s in this league, JB. Leaf against Kuzma, a lot of great 4 matchups.
Leaf setting the screen for the Hamilton 3. Now he's got a second chance. Isaac lines it up. Couple of misses for Isaac Hamilton. Weak side rebound to Bonham. He wants to go. Daniels trailing. Couple of right-handed layups for Devin Daniels.
Here comes UCLA. Don't blink because they're going to get a layup on the other end.
Hamilton swatted out of bounds, but he was fouled first, low by Daniels. That's his first foul in the Utes.
You can see Larry Kraskowiak not happy with his guys off of a make. They did a great job. You know, Larry told us, he said, we're not afraid to run, especially off of misses. And we see here, they're going to attack UCLA, but you see, when you make, you see them kind of trotting back. Hey, let's get back. Maybe this is a normal team. This is not a normal team. They will go at anybody off of makes. We know they will off of misses. Got to get back.
Hamilton will get a second after missing the first. He's coming off a 20-point effort in Boulder. He's got 35 combined points after a rough start to conference. Misses 2 there. Those 3 games for the Bruins to open league play, though, Hamilton went 2 of 24, had 7 points combined in 3 contests. Collette in trouble, saves it to Kuzma. Zamora relocating and stroking.
Well, is there a guy hotter than this guy, Zamora? He's brought his field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage up to 44%, really stroking it.
And 12 of his last 19 from distance have gone down. Bryce posting. Don't see that often from Bryce Alford.
You don't, and it was, I don't know how he got it over. It almost reminded me of that 3 he hit against SMU a couple years ago. Barely kind of under the rim at one point and then got over.
And so Bryce Alford in his career is now into the scoring column here in Salt Lake City. Combined 0 for 14 in his 2 career games here at the Huntsman Center previously. Short clock for Bonham. Able to turn the corner over Thomas Welsh.
Well, and I like what they're doing tempo-wise. If there's a score with UCLA, you're seeing Utah run clock, run their offense. If there's a miss, they'll go the other way.
Leaf against Kuzma. Collect the second defender. Alford from deep.
I don't know if I really wonder if he knew about those stats coming in, and even if he did, I don't think he cares. He's got the mentality of a defensive back, forgets his bad shots, not afraid of anything. Primetime player.
See what you did there on a playoff weekend in the NFL.
Well, when your Chiefs are in the playoffs, you got to pay attention.
Collette against Welsh. They are doubling him on the catch. Kuzma diving, had it dislodged. Utah will keep it on the other side.
Well, the thing about Bryce Alford, I saw him light it up with those 9 threes, but he's a big game player. He understands the energy. He'll shoot it from deep, on fire.
Chamber of Tourism presents Life Elevated, and it's the freshman for the Bruins, Ball and Leaf.
Well, I didn't know how good Ball was going to be. He's obviously, to me, the best player in the league so far. He's been spectacular, and we all know that. But Leaf is the guy, to me, JB, that has shown me so much. Tougher than I thought he would be, more athletic than I thought he would be, and what a compliment to this team. They needed one position, and is that 4 position. And you look at those numbers right there, 65. How about Lonzo Ball? 53% field goals, the 8 assists, second in the country, assist to turnover, best in the league. Just tremendous.
Is this an appropriate time to thank the Utah Office of Tourism, by the way,
Yes.
for the weekend that I've had here in Salt Lake City and Park City and all the great surrounding area in the Beehive State?
Well, it is, because I wanted to go to dinner with you last night, and you said, no, I'm too tired because I went skiing today.
Daniels got lost on the OB entry.
Larry Kraskowiak works on the inbound pass probably as much as anybody in this league. He's a detail-driven coach, again, as much as anybody, and that was the reason for that layup.
Welsh fouled, and that's his sweet spot, that mid-range jumper. Zamora reaching in. How's this for a game summary so far, Matt? The teams have combined to make 11 shots. They've missed 3.
Utah offensively has been so much better. You expect it from UCLA. And in big games like this, JB, you want to see a clean game. You want to see the flow and the motion.
Welsh yet to miss at the free throw line this season. We got a chance for a first today for Steve Alford's Bruins. They have yet to sweep a conference road trip. That's winning back-to-back 2 games like they'll have the opportunity after winning in Colorado.
Well, he's just sticking to the age-old formula that you split on the road. Why win 2 when the formula says split on the road and win 2 at home?
That's your ticket to a championship.
That's the ticket.
Welsh checks out after making 2 free throws. How about an underreported storyline? Thomas Welsh, 22 of 22 at the line.
For the year. It's ridiculous. Well, you talk about him being a mid-range jumper. That's exactly his spot.
Zamora.
See, I think that's too quick right there. They've gotten good shots so far. That one was too quick.
Bonham puts it down, gets into the chest of Ike Anigbogu, and finishes.
Well, Bonham is another guy we talk about shooting percentages, 58% on the year from 2. He's really found, I think, his identity this year.
I think the national 6th man of the year, Aaron Holiday, misses everything on his first attempts.
We need to have that as a category in the Pac-12, right? 6th man of the year.
A foul on the save. Collette got a piece of Anigbogu. And Collette's first foul. Larry Kraskowiak going to his bench. He's going to grab Jace Johnson and also bring Cedric Bearfield in the contest. Bearfield coming off a 4 of 6 shooting performance against USC. Couple assists, no bad shots. Matt, it wasn't his most gaudy statistical night, but I thought his most complete game as a Ute so far.
Yeah, you mentioned that at shoot-around. I agreed with you, JB, because he's such an explosive scorer. As they go right down to Leaf, he's such a scorer that he sometimes just gets way too much into that and thinking about scoring, and he's got to really think about assist pass first.
Now UCLA matched up defensively. A couple of high screens that Bonham can choose from. Kuzma gets Leaf and pulls up, and TJ gets to the glass.
It's not a bad shot, but again, they can get better shots, and I think that's the key for them. They can get good, but work for better ones.
Holiday back to Leaf. 4-3, TJ Leaf, better than 50% from behind the arc.
That's the one thing that I'm just shocked at. You look at his jumper, it's a little bit different, nice dish inside, and just no defense right there for UCLA at all. But Leaf's ability to knock it down, JB, incredible.
A Holiday with 2 rough misses from distance, just into the contest. Daniels calling for that Jace Johnson screen. Now on the roll. Freshman collects and turns left shoulder on the spin.
Well, that was one of his better moves of the season. A guy that's evolving, a better defensive player than offensive. So huge right there coming off the bench.
Alford on the rip through. Threw it up softly. Last touch by the Bruins.
And you see here, Jace Johnson. Look at the spin. Nice footwork. Now we've seen him play a little bit this year, shown flashes, but trying to catch up to the game. And in a game this big, when you know there's energy, you might be sped up yourself. That looked very comfortable.
The running Utes at 75% from the floor. Bonham off the mark. Johnson, a second chance bucket.
When you think of a bench player, he averages 4 a game, and he's come in the first minute off the bench with 4.
Alford attacking, lost the handle. Wound up in the hands of Leaf, and he gets a pair. Kyle Kuzma picks up his first personal. 4th team foul on Utah.
Yeah, and those are the 2 guys, Collette, Kuzma, most important guys not to get in foul trouble this game.
DJ Leaf for UCLA with 2.
If you want to nitpick, the free throw line has not been Leaf's best asset, 62%, but he hits the first. Welsh returns, and Parker Van Dyke makes his first appearance for Utah.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is surprising that you don't see guys shooting 53% from 3, shooting 62 from the free throw line. It just usually doesn't translate like that. You see there another miss.
Tyler Ross in the rebound as you see Kuzma get his first breather. 4-point edge in the basketball for the running Utes in front of a capacity red-out crowd. Bearfield pulls and hits.
Yeah, he looked really comfortable off of that screen as well. And I think a lot of times in these big games, guys come out, they do get sped up, but off the bench you can sit there and watch it a little more free.
Leaf on the dribble drive.
So we've seen him hit a 3, seen him post, seen him go off the dribble.
He has 8 of UCLA's 20. Tyler Rawson, great look opposite. Now he slashes, couldn't catch. Numbers for the Bruins. Holiday leads the break. Bryce spotting up. A long rebound to the running Utes.
Yeah, they got lucky there. That's where UCLA usually just kills you in transition off the turnover. Now, an interesting thing here in the zone, who do they put in the middle as Rawson just fires? That's too early again. Usually Kuzma's the guy that plays that middle spot, does it very well. He's not in right now.
Welsh rarely misses from that range.
Yeah, that's 98 out of 100 right there.
Now, when you say too early for Utah offensively, what you're driving at is you think their best defense today can be deep possessions on offense.
100%, and part of deep is getting it in deep. They need to get it inside. That's not a bad shot. It's wide open, and you just hit one. But they better get back.
Leaf the outlet to Holiday. Stepping through in transition. Following the play, it's Thomas Welsh. Huntsman center crowd wanted a goaltend.
That was close.
Larry Koskowiak wanted a goaltend, and he'll take a timeout to make his point.
Here's a highlight reel for your mouth. Coke Zero, the ultimate game changer. Coke Zero, real good over taste, 0 calories, 0 sugar.
You see Holiday there? Is it coming off? I think it's off. It hits the rim, but I think it's off.
Saturday Hoops is presented by Wendy's. And by Clean Crisps Coors Light. With great beer comes great responsibility. And by Black Bear Diner. Good old-fashioned family food. As we left you, this was ruled a basket for Thomas Welsh, not a goaltending call. What do you think, Matt?
Well, we looked at it from both angles in the break, and I think it's good either way. It's obviously close. And I think the block charge maybe the toughest, the goaltend maybe second, especially for these refs. I mean, not trying to make a joke, but most of these refs have never goaltended in their life. Let's just be candid, right? It's a hard call either way. I mean, even if you have had the ability to get up there and block a shot in that area.
Nearly halfway home in the first. Thomas Welsh now with 6 points. You speak as if you've had a goaltender or two in your day, Matt.
I have had one. I actually pinned a guy, hit the glass. I pinned it after it hit the glass. He said goaltend. I said that was a great play. I know it's a goaltend, but I'm happy I did it.
Before your plantar fasciitis, you could still throw down even in your ripe old age of 32.
We'll be throwing down later in this year for sure.
A 12 to shoot for Bonham in the running Utes. He works his way inside and is fouled. The Bronx cheer there that you hear is because that's the first foul of the game on UCLA. Van Dyke leaves in favor of JoJo Zamora in the Utah lineup. New shot clock for the running Utes.
Well, we'll see here if UCLA goes back to the zone. And Kyle Kuzma, I think he's one of the best in the conference, has a high basketball IQ. They're going to go man, it looks like.
Gigi Goldman in the contest, guarding him for UCLA. Fairfield against Holiday. Sweet crossover. A hit Collette, could not get the shot up. Will settle for free throws instead.
Well, Fairfield comes from SMU, has not played a lot of basketball, and you can just see him really getting comfortable out there. Had a huge game earlier this year, 35 against USF, and you kind of thought at that point, oh, it's just going to be easy. And then he struggled a little bit after that. And what I like there, you mentioned to JB, the crossover. You know, getting to the rim. He can shoot it from anywhere. We know he can shoot it, but being more of a point guard at time, and I really like the fact that Larry Kraskowiak put him on the bench and brought him off the bench. I think it's a better role for him.
Collette missed the first, his second upcoming. Bryce Alford checked in for Hamilton, who committed his first personal foul. 1 out of 2 for Collette. He'll be 24 in May. Married, majoring in finance. Inside of 10 to go opening half. Lonzo Ball has only taken the one shot. It was the deep three. He steps in a bit. Almost two open.
I almost wonder if he should have just taken it. He was a foot back. That's more his range.
Collette wants it. Instead, Kuzma from the top. Kind of a one-pass possession there, not what you're looking for. Welsh from Holiday collects his own. Thomas Welsh right back up and in.
How great is it when your sixth option is Thomas Welsh? And he's, by the way, he starts and he's still the sixth option, if that makes any sense, with Holiday coming off the bench. I mean, that's a guy that can play at the next level, and that right there, to me, exemplifies why they're the best offensive team in a long time.
Goldman poked it away. Ball in transition from Holiday. Timeout, Utah.
Man, they change sides so quickly, and how easy was that for Ball with the left-handed lay-in. Didn't try to get fancy there. You see the last one here. Welsh, the one he usually makes, but was a great contest, follows that up. Nice footwork underneath with that size. But look at the transition. You really have no chance. You got to stop the ball there. That's the key. And you can't stop that ball from knocking it in, but you got to make him do something before he just can throw it like a quarterback.
Now back to the point you make about Welsh kind of being the sixth option for UCLA. He was phenomenal coming off that knee injury in the loss at Oregon, the Pac-12 opener. Had 20 points on 8 of 11. But then only 22 points since. It was almost like he knocked the rust off after the return. Fouled out in just 19 minutes at CU on Thursday.
Well, he's a guy, look at him, 53% from the field. All their main guys, the shooting percentage is off the charts.
And UCLA handing off the basketball on the perimeter there defensively. Bonham at the wing with Bryce Alford and 10 to shoot. Lonzo steps in and Zamora gets the foul.
Well, we talk so much about Lonzo Ball's vision, and part of that vision is seeing plays before they happen, and that's an example of seeing it before it happens on defense. He was just a step, a pass ahead of that play, enabled him to get the steal.
And speaking of that loss for UCLA at Oregon at the buzzer, 4 straight wins since, all by double digits, kind of reasserting their dominance, even though they're not atop the Pac-12 standings at present. There he is, the best sixth man in college basketball.
And that's too easy. That's against a zone. You should never, against a zone, have a layup that easy. And UCLA on the other side should never have a layup on a made field goal that they just had. That's not good defense, but credit Bonham.
Bonham doing his best Lonzo Ball impersonation there.
Yeah. And he's got size. He can guard Ball because of his size.
Holiday missing the floater and touched out by Utah. Devin Daniels last to touch it, so Bruins basketball when we come back.
Media timeout on the court.
Saturday Hoops presented by Wendy's. UCLA with a 3-point lead in Salt Lake City at our under 8 timeout. Matt Muehlbach, a closer look at the Lonzo Ball steal.
Well, we talked about his vision. We talked about his length. You'll see right here, he's in help side D right there. He's going to be on the strong side. Now it's weak side all of a sudden, so he's got to get over the screen right here. You see him. Got to figure that out. He's going to go over the top on this play, and you see him right here. Circle that there. You see the anticipation before Kuzma was even throwing it. Ball was anticipating that vision, that understanding, instinct of the game, and then part of that, JB, the length. You or I might have done that. We might not have been able to get our hand on it. He's all the way up, going the other way.
And now off the baseline trigger, he gets it back for the hoop from Holiday. So one of 3 steals that we just illustrated for UCLA. They have not turned it over offensively, and they've got their largest lead at 32-27. And Kuzma, no options, so he dribble attacks and had it blocked, 12 to shoot.
But again, Kuzma outside. I want to see him get in the block, or if Collette gets it in the block, flashing to the rim, because I think Kuzma and Collette right here, the key period to get those 2 guys the ball.
Well, 2-man game in that corner, 7 left for Bonham. He identifies. Wow. A long rebound out to Alford. And now with the running Utes we're hoping for coming out of that baseline inbound. Alford curling, hands off ball. Sets up Thomas Welsh, and that's why he's second in the country in assists.
Yeah, you saw that last shot Welsh had. He was a tiny bit off balance, almost falling backwards. That one, he was in balance, knees bent, forward, never misses, and ball again with the dish.
See if the running Utes can snap their drought. Where do you want to see them go with the basketball?
Again, I think Collette and Kuzma, you got to get it inside. Start inside and go out.
Already down to single digits on the shot clock. Kuzma had it ripped out by Ball. He thinks he earned the turnover there. That may have gone off the shoe of Kuzma. Either way, 4 left for Utah and another baseline inbound.
Again, we see the length, the anticipation, and it did look like it went off the back of his shoe there. He was right.
Ike Anabogu checks in. Again, 4 to shoot for the running Utes. Bearfield catching fire. Utah's just run cold offensively. Ball at speed. Threw it to DeMarlo Slocum, who's on staff at Utah.
Now, Ball turns it over every once in a while, but it's, most of his turnovers are like that. He's being aggressive, making a play. They aren't the bad pick 6 type turnovers, and you're going to get that when you average 8 assists.
Now, Utah offensively, just one of their last 7 field goals. Finally, they get Collette a touch off the block. And around the leading shot blocker for UCLA, Bonham able to score.
Well, just getting him a touch and getting some movement and getting something at the rim.
Holiday in traffic to his freshman, off the mark. Rawson pulls for the running Utes. Holiday reaching in.
Yeah, you see here, you get it inside. He does a great job showing his hands there. A little bit out so he knows there's no post move, and you see Bonham, great job on the other side. And you could tell Anabogu knew he was going there. I love that. What a shot blocker. He could see it. He anticipated, but such a great play by Bonham.
Yeah, Ike, the first true rim protector of the Steve Alford era. And Bonham, though, has 8 points on 4 of 6 shooting to lead Utah.
Anabogu, to me, just the X factor for this team. When you look way down the line, Sweet 16, final Elite 8, Final 4 type games, that's a guy that I think he's going to be huge for them.
Back-to-back reach-in fouls on Aaron Holiday, so he's got 2. UCLA now with 4 as a team. New shot clock for Utah.
And now you got to go Bearfield with Collette and Kuzma out. Bearfield has got to be the guy that's got to make some shots.
Ball gets his back in his hands. Midway through the shot clock. Bryce Alford just off the elbow over Devin Daniels. So Alford Had not hit a shot in 2 career appearances here in Salt Lake City. Coming into today, he's been solid early. 3 of 5 shooting, 7 points for the Bruins. Tyler Rawson has missed a couple of threes. Rebound Holiday.
I don't know how long with this lineup they can hang in here with Collette and Kuzma out.
Holiday just pressing the issue there in transition. Earns a trip to the free throw line.
Who's fouled Lorenzo Bonham with his first.
Larry Kraskowiak and company with a 10-game home winning streak in conference. Oregon exactly a year ago, January 14th, 2016, the last Pac-12 team to beat them here.
Crushed them. That's when you knew Oregon was the real deal last year. You see Larry there had the back problem a week ago. Got some help this week from a professor here, some nails, a bed of nails.
Show that to you in a moment. 1 of 2 for Holiday. It's been a rough free throw shooting start for the Bruins. Just 4 of 8. Hamilton comes to get him. Last time Utah had a longer streak of conference wins here at home, they won 47 in a row, spanning their time in the WAC and the Mountain West. Daniels coming downhill, reaching with the left, over on Abogu again.
This has been an impressive freshman campaign, and he is really playing well right now. Kind of an unknown freshman.
Leaf short on the 3. Knocked out by Abogu.
Now Daniels is a big kid, and he's a guy that strong body, strong driver, finishes in all different ways at the rim, the left, the right, comfortable driving at the bucket.
And as a freshman, he's gotten even better since league began. Normally you see freshmen take a step back when they see league competition. He's calling for it here at the wing with 10 to shoot at the 4-minute mark. Hamilton defending, Johnson screening, 6 to go.
Same play.
64% shooting the last 3 games for Utah. Their freshman guard from Battle Creek, Michigan.
And that got the crowd into it. Let's see if they can get on a run right here.
Hamilton goes old school and misses, and there's a rebounding foul on the Bruins. The running Utes have trimmed it to 4. And they got a timeout at the under 4.
Well, this was maybe the biggest moment of the game. Daniels, 2 back-to-back buckets when they really needed it. Utah down 4.
Again, the importance of this opportunity for the musts here in Salt Lake City. Utah is trying to climb the RPI ladder. They jumped 20 spots after a win over top 25 USC. This is the only shot they get against number 4 UCLA.
Well, and that's why you can just see the importance of it because of that RPI. Hey, look, RPI, we've talked about sometimes how the RPI number may not be the best, but the committee uses it. And I think it was interesting. I asked you before, JB, where was the RPI the night before they played USC and then beat SC? It was 116. You told me it dropped 22 points. My question would be, if UCLA wins, how much would Utah's RPI drop?
I still think it could be worth 10, even in a loss at home.
And that's why I think, hey, look, if they win, now they're really in the picture. They're right there, 3rd or 4th in the pack. If they lose, JB, I still think they have a great shot looking down the line in the tournament because they've got some other opportunities.
Bottom in the corner, seeing 2 defenders, splits that double, gets back in the lane, and this is where Utah is really getting after it.
Wow, he just hung in the lane right there. I thought he might flip it out to the wing or the 3-point line and somehow just elevated and then finish with the left.
42 points per game in the paint for Utah, most among Pac-12 teams. Collette rebounds the Bryce Alford miss. Bearfield from bottom in transition, takes that early screen. Again, he gets to the key, challenges Thomas Welsh. That one rolls off. Lonzo Ball throws it back, Hamilton. It's been a cold 3-point shooting half for both teams. Daniels will wait for help. Now he goes. Sliding across the key. It's put back by Collette.
And they got Collette back in again. Points at the bucket. I thought Utah got fortunate that Hamilton missed that 3. They took their opportunity.
Bruins' largest lead was 8. The running Utes have 8 unanswered. Leaf with the seal and the flush.
You just saw Rawson there was late on that cut screen to the block, and then he gambled a little bit and no chance there. But I was going to say the one thing about Utah, in the tough games they did play this year that they lost, really competitive even after they had gotten down big. This team does not quit. A lot of fight in Utah.
Leaf with 10, Welsh with 10, Bonham with 10 for Utah. Welsh got away with it. Hamilton on the move. Gets it right back on the give and go. Ooh. Bonham tips it away. Only Alford to beat, and he kicked it. One official has a foul on Bryce.
A foul?
Hold on.
I thought he might call it off Bryce Alford, but
Rick Batzel, trailing the play, identified a foul.
It was a good idea pass. It was just too high for Hamilton. Bonham he was looking at Alford. No way. It's not a foul. He started to go in and kind of box him out, and if he had continued and maybe pushed the left hand out, maybe that's a foul, but that's not a foul.
First on Alford, 6 on the Bruins.
That's
Holiday
a foul. That's a foul.
Does give it, and now it's a 1-1.
And it's unfortunate for Holiday because he's hustling.
And it's his third.
And they both had the right to the ball, but once Bonham had the ball, his momentum ran into Bonham and knocked him over the other side of the half court.
So Bearfield at 81% from the stripe. Snapped out of a 5-game funk in a win over USC here on Thursday nights. Misses the front end.
I saw Bearfield against Arizona the other day, and he didn't look comfortable at all in that big game. He looks a lot more comfortable today.
Alford will take his use it or lose it timeout. Gigi Goldman was set to check in at the scores table. We'll see if he takes Holiday out of the game with his 3 personal fouls for the final 116. All right, so again, UCLA had an 8-point margin. Utah rallied to tie it, now down 2. How did they get back in it?
Well, the first thing, again, was on offense. They got to the rim. They got guys at the rim, at the bucket. That slows UCLA down just a little, so they're not on the break every time. And then on the other end, I think part of it was just some fortunate play for Utah. Hamilton missed the 3. We saw Welsh right there with a bad pass. So some good defense, but just some toughness here from this Utah team. We watch here, JB, strong out of that double. Not a great double, really, but the hang was the key. And when you hang like that, normally it's hard to get any strength with your arm or on your wrist there, and he had the strength then to get that up on the rim.
I like that he's identified that's his game, because his field goal percentage is up significantly from his junior year, even though his 3-point percentage is down significantly.
Well, and he's out of the shadow finally of DeLon Wright. I think you saw DeLon Wright here. He was such a great player. Bonham comes in. Okay, is he the next DeLon Wright? Had kind of the same size, maybe even some of the skill set, but kind of become comfortable with who he is now.
Goldman with a great flash, but he could not get it to Leaf, who touched it last. And Steve Alford reacting in that last time out. I think he's still burnt over the foul in transition on Bryce.
I don't blame him on that. That was to me clearly not a foul.
A zone defensively here from the Bruins, deep in the opening half.
And this is Kuzma time. I think he's one of the best in the league here because he's so tall and he's skilled that if you can get it into Kuzma, good things happen.
A driving kick, Daniels from the corner.
Well, and I think UCLA recognized that. They were really guarding Kuzma there, really pinching in on the inside. That left the outside open. 3 or 4 passes, great offensive possession.
4 seconds, the differential. Shot clock, game clock. Ball with the basketball. Leaf the high screen. Now he's got Kuzma. Goes to work down the lane. 6 left. Back to Alford. From distance. Got it. And the first half clock expires before Utah can get a shot off. Bruins by 2 after 20 minutes.
Wow, that was such a great look there by Ball. First, we're going to look at Utah here. This is Bonham to Bearfield, and then you see almost walked right there, but they were pinching in so much just over the outstretched arms of Goleman. And then I thought right here, The key was ball passing it out. Most guys instinctively want to go right back up. Alford in his zone, 24 feet, great job.
The State Farm halftime report coming up. KO with our team in San Francisco, Eldridge Kazner and Mike Yem as well. Highlights from that opening game of our quad header, Washington State and Cal in Berkeley. So Alford with that 3 joins Leaf and Welsh in double figures for UCLA. Daniels with 11, Bonham 10 for the Run and Utes, looking to take down a top 4 opponent in front of a sellout crowd, a Redouts here in Salt Lake City. Getting set for our second half. Here's our game summary. UCLA with the 2-point lead on Utah. Double figures for Alford, Leaf, and Welsh. Devin Daniels, he has not blinked as a Run and Ute freshman. Double figures already and contributing to the plus 10 margin in terms of points in the paint, Matt Muehlbach.
Well, he did such a good job driving, and we talked about how big he is, strong player, but his finishes are unorthodox, JB, and I was watching the game the other night. You and Don McClain had the game, and Don made the point that a lot of times he goes off the wrong foot. He's sort of fading away, sort of side, kind of a side spin, and he's got an amazing ability to finish. And, you don't know those things, and you don't really know if those things translate to the college game, but as a freshman, he's clearly shown he can do it.
In the Run and Utes, we'll have the basketball. 15,000 in here today in Salt Lake City, dressed in red. A red out trying to take down UCLA and bolster their NCAA at-large tournament resume. Zamora to collect. He only had 1 field goal in the first half. Kuzma, some second chance points.
Well, and that was a play called right out of the halftime from Larry Kraskowiak. Get the ball to Collette, as you mentioned. Didn't have a big first half, get him some touches, but when you do that, it also opens up rebounding for Kyle Kuzma.
Leaf from the free throw line, secured by Kuzma.
As
coming
good
off
as
a double-double against SC.
Well, as good as Leaf is, that's the shot they wanted UCLA to take. Tough twos that are guarded tough.
Daniels with Welsh hedging, finds Kuzma. Back-to-back buckets for Kyle Kuzma.
Some players you watch and you can see confidence rising. That 26 points against ASU. Just the bucket he made right there 2 minutes ago, he comes back. His confidence is as high as it's ever been as a college player.
Hamilton off the mark. Weak side board, Devin Daniels. Utah led by as many as 6 in that opening half. Back in front here early in the seconds. Bonham thought about it, but again, I think he's thinking what you were thinking, that the way to beat UCLA is to make them work defensively.
Yeah, both Bonham and Kuzma. Now you can go at somebody. Here are the two of the best 4s going at each other.
Zamora, contested by Alford. Collette chases it down. New shot clock for the Run and Utes, and Kuzma sends it back.
Right now, Utah quicker to the ball, offensive boards, getting the loose balls.
Bonham slicing through, Collette fouled at the rim.
Another example of that. That's not a good minute and a half for UCLA to come out and see Utah attacking this UCLA team.
First foul on TJ Leaf.
You see again a Utah guard getting into the lane. And then once you go against shot blockers, had a great chance of offensive rebounds if they miss.
And neither team shot the free throw line well in that opening half. Utah now 1 of 4 as Collette misses another. As I watch you break down kind of that dribble contained by UCLA, the issue they have is their best perimeter defender, Holiday, is saddled with 3 fouls. So that's something to watch here in the second half if they cannot stop the ball.
Yeah, that's a great point, because you look at UCLA, we know not a great defensive team, JB, but if you have one guy that can really make a difference, like a Holiday or an Anabugu, that is big for you.
Leaf leaning into Collette's and falling away. Another big board for Utah in the hands of Kuzma. Bonham baseline. Great find. Daniels. Bit flat on the shot. That's his first miss from behind the line in a long time. He had made 6 in a row. Bryce missing at the other end, and Daniels pulls. Collette thought about dishing to Kuzma. Instead, attacked Thomas Welsh.
Well, that was all started by a bad shot by Bryce Alford, and You know, Bryce shoots bad shots. That's part of his repertoire. But when you miss them, the other teams can go the other way. Great start to this second half by Utah.
All 7 points in this second half for Utah. They got one off a miss from Bryce Alford.
Well, I mentioned before the break, not a good shot by Alford, although we'll talk about that in a minute because he'll take bad shots and make them. But when you miss shots like that, long ones, it gives Utah the chance. UCLA can't set up. Collette not a big first half, and that's really a key for Utah. They want to attack this UCLA team after misses. And I mentioned Alford. I saw all 9 of his threes the other night. 7 of his makes, I would say, I made a lot of threes in college. I would say 7 of his makes I didn't even attempt ever. I mean, that's how hard he takes hard contested. This one's wide open, but he fumbled it. And
throw ahead Bonham on the baseball pass with the left.
How good is Bonham finishing at the rim? And we said it, that's why he shoots 58%, but that was another gorgeous finish.
A 9-0 burst from the running Utes to begin the second half. Leaf trying to settle things down for the Bruins. Kicked out, saved. Daniels behind the back. Ball to Hamilton. Alonzo Ball. Utah survives it. Well, what a scramble. Now they got possession with a 7-point lead and their crowd fully into this critical contest as they look to knock off ranked teams back-to-back for the first time in regular season history.
Yeah, and they're hungrier right now. The last 3 or 4 minutes, they have been the hungrier team.
Bonham's unstoppable. 14.7 of 10 shooting. Bruins still cannot find it since halftime. Hamilton staying alive. Ball with some separation. Finally. After they had missed their first 7 shots out of the break, Lonzo Ball.
You know, Ball's got sort of the Jim Furyk jump shot of this league. I mean, it looks a little different unorthodox, but when he gets it to the point where he's got to release it, I mean, it's a perfect release. I watched him in shoot-around. His misses are never left and right. It's just long and short, which all great shooters have.
Single digits on the shot clock, 5 remaining. Kuzma for Bonham. Not the best offensive possession there for Utah. When you're closing out on Lonzo Ball as he launches another, and normally a right-handed shooter, you would attack the right shoulder on your closeout. Do you have to go at his left side?
You do, because he brings it up from the left and kind of gets it to center, but knocked that 3. But UCLA needs to regroup right now.
This is presented by Wendy's. And by Clean Crisp Coors Light. With great beer comes great responsibility. And by Black Bear Diner. Good old-fashioned family food. Devin Daniels on the head-ahead to Bonham, who leads all scores. 14 points on 7 of 11 shooting and doing most of it on the left side of the rim, Matt Muehlbach.
Yeah, that is not an easy finish, but you take his length and his stride right there, and a guy that does finish at the rim so well. Really been impressed with him so far. Not just the points, he's got 14, he's taking good shots, just the tempo, because tempo is so important with this UCLA team, understanding as the point guard what to do. He's having an incredible game so far.
Utah 5 of 10 shooting since the half. UCLA 1 of 9, including 1 of 6 from behind the arc.
When you look at them today, right now, from behind the arc, 5 of 18.
They're running great stuff off of dead ball situations. Kuzma on the putback.
And that's what they've had, dead ball situations or makes on the other end, or misses by UCLA, so they've had a great chance to score on offense because of that.
Ball bails out Hamilton and Welsh. He should pay rent in those short corners.
Well, that's one of the reasons you worry about playing zone against UCLA, because he would just show up in that short corner and just absolutely attack the zone every time.
Welsh has only missed 1 shot. He's got 12 points to lead the Bruins. One of 4 UCLA players in double figures.
Oh, and here's the zone. I talked about getting to Kuzma, and he's so good right there. He misses the little 7-footer.
Leaf ripped down the rebound. Alford out early.
That was a worse shot than the one he took. That was really just too quick. And I know he's been feeling it the last couple games. And I think, JB, the big thing there, when you're down 6 right there, it's fine when you're up 6. When you're down 6, you got to have a little more discretion.
Ball's length just stole that rebound. He gets it to Hamilton on the move. Isaac Hamilton, who was 1 of 7 to that point, gets an easy one from Ball.
And I love how he passes backwards so often. He passes backwards there to a guy that has, in rhythm, has the steps to get to the rim.
Again, an easy entry at the high post to Kuzma. They've come up empty twice against the zone. Leaf had it jarred loose. Zamora on the counter, working for numbers with Collette.
Collette can run. He can really run. I said earlier this year, he reminded me a little bit of Josh Scott because of his interior play. He reminds me of a guy I played against with years ago, Adam Keefe from Stanford. Got those long legs. Tough interior guy. That's a walk.
Only the 6th turnover on the Bruins.
Well, at least in my day, this was Adam Keefe on the break for the Stanford Cardinal. Could run. He was big. A little travel there before he gets the 2. But a nice finish.
Keefe came here to Salt Lake City and played professionally, did he not?
I think so. I think you're correct.
Utah with 9 points off turnovers to help build this 6-point advantage.
And again, good decision by Bonham there. Keep moving it around.
Single digits on the shot clock.
Not a good decision.
Ball intercepts and runs out, and hammers home with 2.
That's tough to do, to get to 2 feet and dunk it like that.
A dozen points for Lonzo Ball. A couple of steals his way as well. Good look from in front of his own bench. Bearfield couldn't hit the 3. Ball the board. Holiday is in playing with 3 fouls for the Bruins. Extra pass to Hamilton. He's been ice cold from behind the line. We'll try again. Finally, Hamilton from distance. He's 1 of 7 from behind the arc.
Great job by Welsh there. Now you can just feel UCLA momentum. Their offense looks faster. Of course, Utah has missed some buckets. Again, try to get the ball inside to the 2 bigs.
Tyler Rawson's great with that post entry. Daniels dips in. Tough.
What did we just talk about? He has an amazing ability to finish. Those are shots years ago coaches would never want you to take off, sometimes off the wrong foot, floaters, runners. Let's see if UCLA goes inside here.
Leaf couldn't beat the zone. Bearfield on the move for the running Utes.
Now this zone has been effective for a number of possessions here. Utah has gotten some looks, just not able to score in it.
10 left. Holiday got his hands in, created the steal. Tough pass to Ball, who recovers for possession. Aaron Holiday at the free throw line when we come back.
Well, one of the things the zone does for UCLA is that they can get in passing lanes. Ball had that steal, and then an easy finish for the long, athletic Ball. And Daniels has a little bit to his game, a little sauce here from the freshman.
His shoot for 2 belongs to Lorenzo Bonham.
Yeah, we've seen him attack the rim so often tonight, and not easy finishes. We see him finish a lot from the left side with that left hand, but he can go to the right side as well, use the rim. Although Anabogo there saw it coming and he still finished. That almost looked like a package of DeLon Wright from 2 years ago. All those finishes, the length, and then just the beautiful touch at the end.
It's amazing how much this Utah roster has turned over in the 2 years since UCLA was in this building, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. Larry Kraskowiak, I mean, you talk about, well, we know what a great job he's done with this team over the last 5 years, but his roster management at the end of this season really is what's putting him in one of the Coaches of the Year talk. Done an incredible job this year.
Aaron Holiday gets 2, shooting towards the Moss as we resume. It's a 1-point game. Had 6 ties, 7 lead changes. More zone from UCLA defensively. Bonham on rotation to Bearfield. Gigi Goleman is in and he takes the charge.
Well, again, if there's nothing there and you're a guard, you just got to swing it. Just swing it around. In the zone, so often you're trying to make a play. You want to penetrate. You want to make something happen. It's probably the right call. He was moving a little bit, but I think more importantly, just swing the ball, JB.
JoJo Zamora replaces him in the Utah lineup. Here's Holiday crossing over on Zamora. Holiday not timid despite playing with 3 fouls.
That's why I think, I mean, he's an NBA player, and that's why I think he could be a first-round NBA player. That was a dominant move, strong move, just a one-on-one play.
His scoring, his shooting percentages, and his assists are all way up year to year, even though his minutes are down as he takes over that 6-man role.
It's incredible. 5 minutes less per game, and all those numbers up. Way more efficient, and still playing a lot of the point guard position, obviously.
3 to shoot for Daniels as he launches. Drew Iron, and look who runs it down. Bonham out of bounds. Bryce Alford back in for the Bruins. It seems like they took a punch from Utah coming out of that second half. And you look at the scoreboard and they're back up 1 with the basketball.
Well, you and I talked about this on the break, and I was saying, has UCLA had to do that this year? And you made a great point. They did it at Oregon. They took a couple punches and kept coming back in that game. And really, I thought should have won the game. They did not. Oh,
ball takes it away from Bonham. With bad intentions at the rim.
My goodness, I love it when he cups the ball like that. Love the old cup. But he just stood there. He never moved on that outlet pass. What a terrific, again, anticipation move.
Bonham took the handoff. And Daniel sends it back his way. And what I like about that, too, is ball wasn't sulking because that was a no-pass possession. You know, Holiday launches a 3 off the screen. It's not like he's jogging back saying, wait a second, why didn't I get a touch in the half court? He's hunting the steal and the dunk.
Absolutely does not care that he doesn't score. And not the fake, I don't care. He really doesn't. I wonder, does he ever look at box scores?
EK with his back to the basket. Just volleyballs it up and in.
I'd like to see him get a little more time, and he could be a big difference maker this second half.
First bucket for EK Anabogu.
Here he comes again.
Huntsman Center furious there was no foul on ball. Kuzma down the lane. Leaves it for Collette. Takes the contact and converts.
Now that was all Kyle Kuzma. And again, I talked about him getting the ball in the zone. He got it up top. No one came at all to defend him, and then looks for Collette. Terrific finish, terrific pass. I was looking at the statistics, JB, before the game and was amazed when you look at Kyle Kuzma, second in the league in assists per four-man. Almost 2.5 a game. Does a great job with the ball. Was really surprised to see that number from Kuzma. In fact, the guy that leads the league as a four-man, TJ Leaf, shocked to see 50 assists in his 4 position. Both of those guys really pass it well.
Violation on the Bruins will give Collette another chance at that 3-point opportunity. We talked about Kuzma here on Thursday night as being a leading candidate for Pac-12 Most Improved Player. This time Collette caps it.
I think the argument for him, you look at Metu, who's I think one of the guys you would think about, his defense and rebounding haven't improved as much as his offense. I think Kuzma's rebounding and defense has been the equal to his offensive improvement.
So we hate the 8-minute mark here. Holiday launches again. He's been really aggressive at this end. Collette running. Look away pass Zamora. And the running Utes fortunate to keep it on the other side of this under-8 timeout. Tied at 62 in Salt Lake City. Pac-12 Network. Cal defeated Washington State in a one-possession game to begin, and Saturday Hoops presented by Wendy's continues. We're tied in Salt Lake City, number 4 UCLA and the running Utes. Matt Muehlbach, JB Long. All right, 2 segments left to play. What will determine the outcome?
Well, I think, again, can Utah get to the rim? Can they get to the hole? Can they attack this UCLA defense? And really, UCLA hasn't been themselves in this second half. I feel a little more momentum from them, a little bit tougher. We're seeing the loose balls. I thought early on Utah took it to UCLA. Can UCLA be the tough team down the stretch? On the road, by the way, in an awesome environment, JB.
To Matt's point about the Bruins not being themselves, they're shooting 36% in this half, just 2 of 11 from distance. And from the corner, Cedric Bearfield. And Utah strikes again out of a dead ball situation.
Well, you brought it up. We've talked about it. Larry Kraskowiak out of a timeout, out of an under, out of bounds. We see a foul right there, a little momentum swing. Execution. Larry Kraskowiak's clubs execute as well as anybody in this league. And if you go to a shoot-around, the reason they do is they're long shoot-arounds, very long. And he just goes over every detail.
The offensive foul was on Goleman, his first, 3rd on the team. Utah gives it right back.
Boy, Ball is so good at just flipping his hands in there, anticipating those, the long arms, 6'7" wingspan.
And TJ Leaf comes to get Goleman as Ball brings it down. Bruins at 17-1 on the season, 4-1 in conference play, 4 straight victories, all by double digits since the opening loss in Eugene. Another whistle away from the basketball here. Goes against JoJo Zamora this time. It's his 3rd personal foul, 3rd team foul on the running Utes in this second half. New shot clock for Holiday and the Bruins.
You know, I'd say looking at UCLA right now, I think their body language looks great. I mean, they haven't played well. We just talked about it. They're behind.
Zamora again away from the basketball. So 4 on the junior from Oakland, first-year Ute. That's going to get Lorenzo Bonham back into the game. Now let's see if UCLA can get a bucket off the baseline. Holiday felt he had a step on Bonham and finishes.
You just can't guard that. That's all you can do is run back to the other end.
Holiday joins the Bruins group in double figures.
You mentioned it, JB. Holiday, the best defender on this team. There he is again. He really gets down in a defensive stance. He's really ready to defend.
Bonham off the bench. And give the assist to Daniels on the drive and kick.
Now Bonham 0 for 3 to that point from downtown. Knocks one in.
The running Utes missed their first 5 3-point attempts of this half. Have connected on back-to-back from in front of their bench. Just a little up fake from Holiday, and he hits again.
Another nice, again, I love the TJ Leaf pass. The Lonzo Ball passes from down under. He sucks guys in and then just flings it out to the perimeter. Watch this finish.
Again, off the wrong foot.
Wrong foot, sort of hanging in the air, a little English on it to knock it right in. He's the best I've seen in this conference doing that.
Daniels has 15, his career high 19. He's brought the crowd back into it. Holiday rocking into a triple. Welsh snags it. Ball will launch. Bam! Lonzo Ball to bring the Bruins back within 1.
Again, he doesn't hit 3-pointers from 20 feet 9 inches. It's got to be a foot or 2 or more beyond. And Thomas Welsh, great job getting his fingers on that one. Offensive rebounds right now, UCLA keeping them in it.
And if you've seen his younger brother Jello Ball's highlights of late, you know it runs in the family. Bearfield, right back.
How comfortable does Bearfield look out here?
Ball was calling for it on the early post. Leaf against Kuzma. T.J. Leaf.
That's a first rounder going at a guy that could play at the next level. That's impressive.
You having fun yet, Matt?
Jeez. 2-point game, 4.5 to go. This is the best game in conference. UCLA, Oregon, right there.
Again from that corner. It's been the hot spot for the Utes. Tip rebound to Alford.
And look at Ball push. Suck him in.
Welsh has been lights out. 6 of 7 shooting, 14 points.
And I almost felt Utah was a little tired right there. And Ball, maybe UCLA a little tired, but Ball just kept the pace up, foot on the gas.
4 minutes to go. Bearfield gets it from Collette. And now Kuzma. A rebound to Alford again. As Ball brings it down, Matt, does it feel like he's got 17 points? I mean, he's so low impact in his scoring.
No, and he's had 5 or 6 other shots he could take. He got fouled there. I thought he got run into.
Bearfield on the closeout. He's asking Mike Cyphers where the whistle was.
And I'm okay not calling that because that's a tough one after the shot goes up. Nice cut by Kuzma. Moving without the ball by the big man.
Assist to David Collette. Utah back on the high side.
And that was a big swing because if Ball had been fouled, he gets 3 free throws that go to the other end. Utah up 2.
Alford curling into the lane.
Now that's just a simple wide pin down. Nobody down low on the block. Alford, good finish.
We are tied for the 9th time this afternoon. Bearfield digging inside.
Bearfield has been the X factor today for this team. Coming off the bench, playing much under control. You mentioned it, JB. I thought his game, as you pointed out against SC, really coming along.
To the corner, Alford, and he's fouled. The son hits the shot, the father with a fist pump. As we go to timeout, Bryce Alford has a chance at a 4-point play when we return.
Well, they call him Big Shot Bryce for a reason. He's hit a lot of them over his career. Shot clock, time clock, game coming down, big time.
Saturday Hoops, presented by Wendy's. Welcome back to Salt Lake City. Matt Muehlbach, JB Long. Bryce Alford hits a 3 from the corner for the lead, and he's got a free throw as we resume with 2:37 to go. It's one thing when we've got a close game in crunch time, but when it's because of high-level basketball, it's so much more enjoyable. UCLA has hit on 8 of its last 10 shots, or 5 of its last 6, I beg your pardon. Utah has hit on 8 of its last 10.
Well, Utah shooting 55%, UCLA right at 49. You look up there, a lot of assists, 16 for both teams, not many turnovers. This has been an awesome college game.
Remember in the loss at Oregon, Bryce Alford missed a front end that led to the game winner. That's another big free throw miss for someone who's excellent from the stripe. Bottom with the basketball, Utah down 1. We've had 9 ties and 10 lead changes. Bearfield extending his range.
Well, the thing that's so impressive about Bearfield is he got off to a cold start. He was not feeling it, then all of a sudden, light fire.
A matchup of 6 men.
Yes.
As Holiday misses at the other end, working against Bearfield. Now Ball.
I love how they go no pick there and just let him go.
Holiday hoists and hits.
And Bearfield did the right thing there. He did not get sucked in to the lane, which Ball normally does. He sort of maintained his position, but Holiday was so deep he couldn't get there.
Holiday and Bearfield making the case that the starting five is overrated. Who plays in crunch time? Last 90 seconds of regulation here in Salt Lake City.
I think pick and roll here with Bearfield and Kuzma.
Daniels from the corner with ball defending. Kuzma tried to flush it. Kryskowiak's going berserk because there was no foul.
And it looked like he got hit pretty hard down below. I wonder, because he tried to flush it, sometimes you lose sight of that, and the flush missed, obviously, and no call.
Ball, the Bruins take a 1-point lead into the final minute.
Now we got Collette on ball. What's he going to do? Then they call that.
Keep your eye down low. Was there a foul? We know what he thinks.
Coach K not happy with that. He's a great almost finish. Looked like he got him on the right arm right there. See, good position from Kuzma. Goes up and rips his arm. Yeah, that's a foul because he was trying to dunk it. That's why he missed the dunk.
New shot clock to work with for Lonzo Ball. Trying to sweep a Pac-12 road trip for the first time in the Steve Alford era. 10 left. Bearfield defending. Lonzo Ball to the corner, Hamilton. He puts it down. Alford with 2. Alford with 1. Oh, and the Utes have the basketball. 15 to go. Down by 1. Bonham calls timeout.
Okay. I was wondering what they would do there, if they would let him go. I think that's a good call. I think Utah just felt a little out of sync. That shot by Alford, Larry Kryskowiak still very upset. Great defense here by Utah. They didn't bring the screen. They let ball go one-on-one, and I thought a terrific closeout by Kuzma there. Closed out, but was able to still stop Hamilton on that drive. Another good closeout by Bonham. Didn't foul against Alford, and that was right in our line, JB. It was dead on. It was about 2 inches short.
And then how about this scramble for the rebound? Ball almost got the possession back.
It looked like Daniels was almost in the must right there.
15,000 packing the Huntsman Center. A sellout here in Salt Lake City as the Runnin' Utes take their best shot, their only shot of the regular season, against number 4 UCLA. All right, draw it up for me coming out of this timeout.
Well, I think you've got to have 2 plays. Number 1, UCLA may go to that zone. So what's your play out of a zone? And the play I would like to go with is Bearfield and Kuzma at the top. High screen and roll against that zone. Let Bearfield go and let Kuzma roll on that screen. If they go man, then I think I would put it into Collette. I would try to set something up where I'd clear out the side, and maybe you do it with Bearfield. So if they double off of him, you've got help Kuzma on the other side, and then you got Bearfield for the release if they double from the strong side.
As they break the huddle, let's give our Motel 6 sixth man of the game to the league leader in this category, Aaron Holiday, once again with 14 points. He's played through 3 fouls, which he had in the first half. Yet to commit a personal here in the second. And keep in mind, they only have 3 team fouls, so they have some to give. If they get a bad situation, they can reach in and take the foul and send Utah back out of bounds.
I would actually advocate fouling even if it isn't a bad situation.
Steve Alford takes one of his 2 remaining timeouts.
I mean, they could almost do it and press this game all the way till the end.
You don't shoot 1-and-1 free throws until the 17th foul, so they've got a lot of runway there with just 12.1 remaining.
And I always think as an offense in this time, you want to shoot the ball somewhere around 3 or 4 seconds. Give yourself a chance for an offensive rebound. If you miss, how often do we see offensive rebounds being the determination of a game like this? Guys turn and they watch. They sort of become fans at the end of games.
The arrow in the visitors' favor, a timeout for each team. Here in Salt Lake, Utah trying to upset a top 5 opponent for the first time since 2002. They can beat top 25 teams back-to-back in the regular season for the first time in program history.
And it looks like they're going zone.
Bonham to send it in. Bearfield comes to get it. And there is the foul given by Holiday. That's his 4th. 9.5, and Utah back to the sideline.
And we're going to see a repeat of that. You know, you wonder offensively if you're kind of anticipating that and you see a guy come hard at you, maybe try to hoist it up.
A sign that they might look to do it again is Isaac Hamilton checks in for Holiday so that he's not disqualified if he does have to give the foul. Collette on the catch. Now Bonham with the basketball. And there's Ball giving the foul.
That's only 5.
For the team, second on Lonzo. So they can give one more before Utah shoots free throws. Daniels will send it in this time.
Yeah, and you wonder if they're going to do it here, because if they don't do it here, then they can defend. Yep.
Ball wasn't trying to.
I know.
He was going for the game-winning steal, but he gets whistled, and there are 5.1 seconds remaining for Utah, and now UCLA has reached the max.
Really good job by Steve Alford, and a really good job by his team, because that's not always easy to execute, but they get the ball
on the baseline now.
And what we've talked about it already this game. Larry Kriskoviak, one of the best in the business from the baseline. And again, I'll be interested to see, does UCLA run a zone or do they run man? When you run man, in a lot of ways it's better because you can stick to your guy, but we've seen where teams can get layups off of a man under out of bounds. You can really get sucked in on a pick-the-picker and these tough plays. A lot of action around the rim. With a zone, you're not going to give up a layup, but you might give up a jump shot outside.
We talked a lot about what this game means for Utah with an RPI of 94 at the start of the day. How about for UCLA? I mean, they're going to the tournament, but they're playing for a 1 seed. To get a road win here in front of a capacity crowd, in front of what looks like eventually a tournament team in Utah, could it definitely bolster their chances.
Yeah, absolutely, for that number 1 seed. Sold out 15,000. Utah's played very well.
Not to mention competing for the league championship.
UCLA in man here. And it looks like something for Kuzma.
Bonham has the honors from the baseline for Utah. Into Kyle Kuzma. He pulls over Leaf. Rebound Thomas Welsh. She's fouled with .8.
Yeah, and UCLA, great defense there. They had the play set up for Collette swinging around on the other side. You can see here, that was after the play there, and I thought Kuzma maybe went too early. He could have taken 2 or 3 dribbles, JB, gotten at least a solid 2 right there. And we've talked about this before. Just college guys are not at the end of shot clocks that often. You think of NBA guys, and when he caught it right there, I think the key here would have been just to turn and dribble towards the bucket. I think once he got fading away, his odds go way down after that.
Especially considering UCLA had given all of its fouls. Any whistle would have sent Kuzma to the free throw line, needing to hit a front end of time.
Absolutely. I think it's a great point. He could have forced Leaf to really almost play off him a little bit. And I think maybe the time got in his head a little bit. I was just going to mention, in the pros, guys are up against the shot clock so often. They see it every game. There's 4 quarters. There's a less 24-second clock. So they have that ability. I think guys in college, it's hard because you don't experience it enough.
Bit of housekeeping here. Our officials went to the monitor. They've determined that the foul was given with 1 second left on the clock. Now that would be significant if Utah had a timeout. They might be in a position to inbound a made second free throw and throw it down and call timeout. But now they're going to have to enter and hoist.
And Welsh has missed a lot of free throws this year, right?
Perfect on the year.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If he, this is the shot all these guys practice at the end of the game, or at the end of a shoot-around. No timeout, you just throw it in, you get 1 quick dribble and a fling.
Kuzma will sling it.
Oh, it almost hit the top.
Deflected by Hamilton. That starts the clock. Bonham hits the 2. It won't matter.
Yep.
It won't matter. Only the margin at stake here. UCLA has come to Salt Lake City and defeated Utah.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and this is the Christian Laettner throw. You want to throw it right to the top of the key. And Kuzma with a great arm just slung that thing all the way down. He did get it off.
Give Bonham the bucket. That'll be the least significant of his 19 points in what was a phenomenal effort in a near upset bid, but Ball did enough late, taking over in crunch time as he so often does. 17 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists.
Well, and there were some times during that game, JB, I thought UCLA, not that they would wilt, but you could see Utah with the momentum. The crowd played really well. But Ball and his group, they just keep coming at you. Great group, such good chemistry from this team.
He is our Barbasol Close Shade Player of the Game. We'll show you some of his offensive highlights, but keep in mind all the great work he did defensively.
That was the key. And you saw steals leading to buckets. We saw that in the zone. He was a key factor in that zone. And 17 and 8, big buckets, big plays, and some of the assists were the big ones at the end.
So UCLA, after falling on the road in Eugene in the league opener, has rattled off 5 straight wins. They're now 18-1, 5-1 in conference play. Utah's league home winning streak is snapped. 10 straight in conference. That streak is done. They fall to 12-5 and 3-2 in conference. Halfway through our quadruple header of Saturday Hoops, presented by Wendy's. For Matt Muehlbach, JB Long, good afternoon from Salt Lake City. We go to Maples a little bit later on. First, a stop in our San Francisco studios, and we check in with Mike Yam. Our final from the Huntsman Center, 83-82, number 4 UCLA.